Hello, my lovely radio family. This is Elaine Bartlett here with you this afternoon, and welcome to my sacred inner chamber called the Purple Portal. It is delightful to be with you, and it feels like a long time. Things got a little interrupted this month with 4th of July being on a Tuesday, and I hope you all had a happy 4th. And this particular broadcast is live this minute, but it won't be live by the time you hear it, simply because it's vacation season. So it's being recorded, and on Tuesday it will play. Therefore, you may not phone in, but you still may contact me in a few happy ways. And I look forward to you each reaching out to me. Some of you actually have my phone number. Go for it. Others of you, though, need to reach me either through the original email address that you have for me, or the one that's kind of connected to my outer business world at the radio, excuse me, which is Purple Portal 777 at gmail.com. So once again, between a sip of water, Purple Portal 777 at gmail.com. I also encourage you to check out my website, because it's not so updated this month, but there's happy things on it, and there's the different services that I offer to you so that you can become more awake and aware and just more connected with your inner self. That's kind of the thrust of my work in the world, so that you have a better idea of how to look at yourself fairly and squarely and honorably, and then make any self-adjustments that are appropriate. When I did have the last live show, I did speak about a concoction that I had kind of made up. It's kind of partially I made it up, and partially lots of different teachers have spoken of it over the years. But I've had many inquiries about it, and the inquiries alerted me to the idea that I should give this concoction again, tell you some of the benefits of it, and give you the more direct proportions, because that's what seemed to throw some of you. I don't know what the name of it is. It's kind of a water lemon kind of concoction. Here it is. You take baking soda, about a teaspoonful, and please don't use the baking soda that's been in your refrigerator for probably 10 years because you forgot to mark the date on it when you actually put it into your refrigerator. Go get yourself a new little box of baking soda. While you're at it, get some organic lemons, because that's going to be the foundation of this thing. And after that, you can kind of add as you see fit. So here's what I do. I take a teaspoon of the baking soda, about a cup of warm water. Why do I take warm water? It's better for your system to ingest warm things. Cold drinks are particularly challenging for your kidney energy, or what I call the kidney chi. And I know people, especially in the state I live in, they want the ice in the drinks, and the more ice, the better. And their nose is very out of joint when it's not ice cold. I cannot tell you how much difficulty that creates for the kidney energy. As a matter of fact, if you have any kidney issue whatsoever, you really need to stay away from cold drinks, period. My Tibetan healer up in New York State, she's always saying no cold. Both she and her husband do not have cold. It's too harsh on the system. So to get back to my concoction, all right, we've got the teaspoon of baking soda at the bottom, then about a cup of water, and I make this in a very big mug based on what's going to happen next. I'm a rather finicky eater, so for me, the concoction of just the baking soda and lemon juice is a bit too harsh. So I add about an ounce, maybe two, of very pure apple cider. So I layer that onto the water simply because I have found when I add the juice of a full lemon, so I actually have a juicer. Some of you might not have that, but I use the full lemon, which is why I get an ounce or two of lemon juice. And then very slowly, I add that to the concoction. Now it starts, if you pour it in too quickly, chemically, it doesn't do well with the baking soda, so this thing starts to fizz all over the place. The slower you pour it in, keep a spoon handy. In other words, you keep taming the bubbles, if you will. Sometimes I add about a quarter of a teaspoon of Manuka honey. Now, I get the 20 grade. That's the top of the line. It's the doctor grade of Manuka honey. I add that when I feel maybe my immune system isn't as strong as I want it. So I don't add it every day. It's up to you. Maybe you do want the Manuka honey. Maybe you don't. Maybe you can do it without the apple cider. It's going to be your call. So the main ingredients, baking soda, water, and lemon. You could call it quits right at that. Now, here's some of the results that I've heard. One gal, she was not really feeling well, and she just happened to mention it when we were having a little chat on the telephone. And I said, whoa, go get some baking soda, go get your lemon and make this concoction. The problem that she was having was she almost felt as if she was getting the beginnings of a hernia or massive indigestion. And she drank a cup of this. She actually could not believe what the difference was and how quickly. You know, this will balance your acid and alkaline levels. It will help with any little bit of arthritis, which is also a byproduct of the wrong balance of acid and alkaline. It could help with gout. It helps with, you name it. It settles the digestive tract right down, and therefore everything that's connected with that. And personally, I have found it even helps calm the nervous system. And the nervous system is a system that I think we kind of, we almost disregard it, or we talk of it in odd, rather disrespectful terms. But as I really contemplate that nervous system, it's a many-tentacled system as far as I can figure out. And these tentacles really are a part of your genuine wellness system. I remember as a little girl, my mother used to caution me and the other kids, don't get overly excited. Calm your excitement down. And she used to come down particularly, strongly with me with, don't get so excited. And I never really understood the value of it until now, when that overexcitement, it's overstimulation. And what it does is it fries your nervous system. And that system is very, very critical as far as keeping everything running smoothly. So you really want to stay in harmony with all the systems that you feel you are blowing out of your own system. So that's the water and lemon concoction, and I hope you now understand the exact proportions. Look, if you want to add a little less water, do it. If you want to add a little more water, have a good time. If you want to add 2 lemons, go for it. In other words, you're your doctor. You are your own healer. And that's, of course, to me, the missing piece with Western medicine. They treat everyone the same, and that's insane. No 2 days in a row are you the same. you're not the same from morning till afternoon. So please love yourself enough and take yourself into account accordingly. Driving up here today, I do my best thinking either in the shower or driving up here for some reason. And all of a sudden, a lovely phrase settled into me. And it's along the lines of this: calm yourself and the water and the lemon and all that jazz. And the phrase, which I think I should either have mugs with this imprinted on it or T-shirts or something very happy and profound, and perhaps that's how I'll make my money for my dotage so I don't have to worry in life. And the phrase is, sink into serenity. And as that phrase just came into my awareness, I just kept repeating it. And as I did, I felt lighter. Any weight lifted from me, any constriction, any sense of conflict. And as I kept repeating, sink into serenity, it's almost as if some magical kingdom permeated every cell of my body, and everything just relaxed, like when you finally give yourself permission to collapse into the rocking chair on the front porch and just allow yourself to be. It was such a happy thought, and I know why it came to me. This morning I was working with a client, and she was a bit frazzled. And all of a sudden, I found myself saying to her, it's time for you to cultivate serenity. And that's the next word in your evolution. And just feel how good it is when you are serene. And it was so lovely because she then said, she calmed herself down from the high pitch that she's usually at. She's a very intense businesswoman, successful, but very, very intense. And she took a deep breath and she said, that's what my father used to say to me. Now, I knew her father before he crossed over, and I thought, I wonder if he wasn't perhaps responsible for moving the thought into me to verbalize it to her, because he had great love for her. So then as I'm mulling that over, you can see where I go with my contemplation and mulling. In the silence, one thing leads to another, and voila, the lovely phrase, sink into serenity, is born. So if any of you would like to sponsor me making T-shirts and mugs, let me know, please. I'm already up for the task. So that was that. And then I have a couple of lovely thoughts from Alan Watts. Alan Watts was a world-renowned philosopher, writer, and speaker. And he really pursued the true nature of reality, which when I understood that about him, I thought, hello, Alan, I know you. And because that's what I'm all about. I am pursuing the true nature of reality, spelled with a capital R. That's why so much of everything that I've, worked so diligently to master over the last umpteen years of my life, you kind of have to begin to let it go because it's not the true nature of reality. So I'm going to share with you a couple of the things that he said.